It's showtime.
OnlySlabs.
Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. It's Rob here for the Great Wall of Comics. It's Slabber Day, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of OnlySlabs, and that can mean we need this man, Chris the Comic Vet. How the heck are you, sir?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
You didn't sound like you're too sure of that. You want to try that again? Here, let's try it again. And that means we need only one man, this guy, Chris the Comic Vet. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
All right, we'll move on. Let's just bring on Brian. Brian, how are you?
I am absolutely stupendous.
Yes.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
I'm great. Chris, well, he's getting along apparently.
Yeah, just
You know, he is in Canada, so you know.
I'm still getting over the flu. Like, come on.
Oh, I know what that's like.
It's all my chest. Yeah.
Great googly moogly. I tell you, I'm excited because you know it's another comic screen cancer's behind us. Well, I say it's never behind us. It's ever present because actually the campaign goes to the end of the year and then it starts over again. And I'm working year round on it. And I still have a garage full of like 300 items to pack and ship this weekend. So, but we hit the goal. If anybody was living under a rock, I mean, we hit 50. Our goal was $50,000, and Chris knows we're not going to hit it. I was like, we're going to. I was estimating we're going to maybe hit 45, and that we were probably going to come just short. And you guys in the community, holy cow, stepped up, and we managed to raise $54,000, and closing in real quick on 55 because it's still going. We got some matching things that are coming in from people's employers that they've submitted. So our stretch goal is 60K. We still have an encore show to go when Nick and Fable are ready to do their show. And DJ Links potentially has another New York Comic-Con exclusives whatnot sale or something coming up too. So, and of course, as long as I'm saying it, if anybody still doesn't have it, we still have we still have some copies of the Sonic the Hedgehog 69, the big time collectibles joint venture with Comic Screen Cancer, available on the link. You go to Linktree to the big cartel shop. They're $15. Anyways, enough about that. Let's go ahead and play Romper Room and get this show started.
Romper bomper, stomper boo, tell me do. Magic mirror, tell me today, did all my friends have fun at play?
Well, Crucius is here. Woohoo! Hooray! Heroes for Hire Comic Club, happy Slabber Day. Thank you. The Adventurous Joe, he says, super sick today. Someone come up with a better Slabber Day joke. I'm too tired. Well, we appreciate you anyway, sir. Thank you for making us a part of your Get Well program. Most doctors do say that OnlySlabs will probably do nothing to help you, but it won't hurt you either. So there you go. That kind of ringing endorsement is all I need. Marty Alechko, happy Slabber Day from Canada, everyone. Space Case Cards, how's it? John Comics Avalon, good morning, everyone. Happy Slabber Day. Izzyverse NYC drawing for C3. That's right. He's still got drawings he's got to get caught up on. Cat Fan Comics Man, happy Slabber Day. Oh, what a beautiful day for slabbering all over my TV screen. Hello to Rob, Chris, and special guests, SlickJolly. Let's see, Jamalo. Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Let's see here. Scroll through here. El Green Machine, good morning. Dropping those emojis. Okay, to you. Mad Spidey checking in from Australia. Never fear, Mad Spidey's here. Robert Monroe Jr., happy Slabber Day. Happy Slabber Day to you. Let's see. Wayne Deacon, SLAB. What does it spell? It spells Rob and Chris are so sexy as Slabber Day. Okay. Dr. Von Hoot, good evening, all. Good evening to you, sir. Is Charmaine Deacon. Hello, everyone. Sorry about Wayne. He's stupid and funny looking. Wow. The funny thing is, my parents say the same thing about me, and my wife says even worse things. So there you go. That's not true. Maybe it's true. It's a little true. Let's see here. Who else we got to say hello to? We haven't said hello. Brian Klotz, happy Slabber Day. Jesper, good evening to you, sir. I haven't seen you a bit. Chris Bell swinging by to say hello, everyone. Bat Dan swinging on by. Bat Dan, I think you're one of the folks I'm still missing. I haven't been able to match up an address to your name for items won during Comic Screen Cancer. If you can ping me on Instagram or email me at robs.fatstacks@gmail.com, either way, with your information, that would be great. Would really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see, who else are we missing? Or we're saying hello to Phil Ailing. Hello, everyone. Austin LeMay. Hey, gang. How you doing? 25 Perez through the mail. Hello. Watching from Tampa, Florida. Oh, good to know that you got some places you can watch in Florida and that things are up and running a little bit there. I know it's obviously place been not in the best of shape as it could be right now. Mr. Comics 89. Hey, everyone. Happy Slabber Day. Let's see here. Let's say hello to, well, let's just say Marty Alechko says, hey, let's get that ball rolling because cancer sucks. Absolutely. Here you go, sir. Happy Slabber Day from Wellbore. I got fam over for the weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, Canada. You guys, is turkey a thing in Canada for Thanksgiving there? Canadian Thanksgiving?
Sure is.
Absolutely great.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Are you doing a turkey?
No, I really don't do holidays and stuff like that anymore. But yes, it's a thing here in Canada. Yeah.
Chris, there's nothing better than turkey.
I grinch out about stuff like this. I'm sorry. My son's grown up. My dad passed away. Like, man, I don't really care about this stuff anymore.
That's it. You got to come down for real. You got to come down for American Thanksgiving. I'll give you the real treatment.
Yeah. You're on.
Matter of fact, that reminds me. It's almost time for me to order my bird for Thanksgiving. I have to pre-order it. But
ooh, TBH.
Dr. Von Hoot said from the Comics Article, C3 weekend is over, but cancer still sucks. Absolutely true, sir. Appreciate that. Let me get you one. This one's for you, sir. Kenneth the Bird, hi to everyone that's here today. Let's see. Then Cliff says $4.99. I'll accept that answer. There you go, sir.
You know, I'm very conflicted about how I'm supposed to feel watching this.
Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see. Then as I scroll through this, hello. Oh, Rich, Comic Clap Collectibles. Hello, all. Thank you. Jean Malot dropping in, says, congratulations on 54,000 to fight cancer. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. This one is yours.
Bet she gives great helmet.
Kiss me. No. On the bridge, sir. Knock on my door. Knock next time.
I like
Hazu. Hello. How are you?
Never gets old.
Joffrey Castro. Hey, cat fan. Phil's Treehouse swinging by. Second that. Let's see who else we got here. Chop and Drop, hello. Dagger Cards, hello. Thanks to everyone who's helped him raise over $1,000 in his great cycling challenge for sick kids with cancer before his 45th birthday. Yes, congratulations. Great job, sir. Let's see here. I'm sliding through here. Roll past a bunch of people saying hello to everyone. Then it looks like Papa Willie swings in next, and he says, Pop is officially broke after C3. Well, I know I got several items to ship to you, but thank you so much. Appreciate you sparing that last $2 for us. This one's for you.
That's the first time I ever asked for anything I really wanted.
Never could figure it out. Jason, sup, gentlemen? How you doing?
Brother.
Eddie, Old Man Collectibles, swinging by to say hello all. Thank you. Let's see who else we need to say hello to. I don't know if I got Robert Monroe Jr. Rob, if you haven't tried grilling a turkey this year, it takes a while, but it's more, I'm a big smoked turkey guy. That's what I do. I smoke the turkeys on my smoker, spatchcock them, everything else. I've got a video about it. Actually, I need to move it down, take it off of my this channel and move it over to my barbecue channel. But yeah, spatchcocking smoked turkey over pecan, absolute my favorite, can't be beat. Your pecan.
Chris is very confused.
He doesn't like my pronunciation of
pecan is. I know I've heard that word. I think Jason dropped that word.
When you take the bird, you cut the spine out essentially, and then you crack it open flat, and then you cook it flat. It cooks faster, and especially when you're doing a really large turkey, it's important. Not only does it allow you to get the breast and the thigh meat to the proper temperatures more aligned, but also because you're cooking over a slow period of time. A really big bird, when you're cooking like a 25-pound bird, a long cook like that actually incubates the bacteria that's natural in birds for a longer period of time, and therefore potentially be a health risk. Whereas cooking it faster is it gets you to a better safe temperature quicker. It's safer for you and your guests.
As someone that works with poultry, I know all about the bacterias, but
right,
yeah, I knew the word. I just wasn't how.
Yeah. We can have a great conversation about that, but that's not what we're here for. So we're going to move along for now. Comic book countdown. Slabadabadoo. Absolutely. MJ Comics. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Darth Lopez. First time here and welcome. We've now almost gotten to the end of the chat. We're going to start soon, I swear. Let's see who else we got to say hello to. Ryan Riley, happy Slabber Day and congratulations on a successful comics curing cancer. Now roll that beautiful bean footage. That's the one I wanted. Roll that beautiful bean footage. I was trying to rack my brains this morning. I had time.
Write that down.
Couldn't remember what. I am writing it down right now. I was trying to remember what I was trying to get a clip of. Thank you. Oh my God. Let's see here. Can we get a line on that barbecue channel? Yes. At Nearly Famous BBQ. It doesn't have much on it right now, but yeah. See, Chris thought spatchcock was Canadian sex. Well, there you go. Clip on Comics says 14 minutes and Slick has said 8 words. Well, that's okay because we're 8 minutes in or 14 minutes in, and it's now time to put him in the featured presentation and say, welcome, Brian, to OnlySlabs.
It's a pleasure to be here. I never thought I'd be on a live stream showing off my comic book love.
Well, I'm glad that you reached out to me. And anybody else out there, by the way, Brian is a perfect example that you need not wait for me to reach out to you. You can reach out to me and say, hey, I have slabs. I'd like to be on your show. And next thing you know, here you are. Well, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred. So why don't you tell us your comic book cliff notes of your comic book origin story? How did you get into comic books? What gamma bomb were you exposed to that gave you an alter ego that was confounded to walk the earth searching for the best comics possible?
I think it mostly started when I was growing up in the child of the 80s. watching all of those late 80s, early 90s cartoons. And on Saturday morning, we'd wake up and watch them for hours. My dad was a big Iron Man collector, and my mom had some classic issues in her closet. And one of the things was we used to stop on the way back from our grandparents for the holidays, and there was a local comic shop on the way home, and we'd stop in, and that's where I kind of got hooked on the Incredible Hulk. And so I collected pretty much the entire run of the Incredible Hulk. And then later in the 90s, I got hooked on Spawn when that first came out. And I just remember being just completely enthralled with the artwork and the story, and just really hooked on that. And all the way until college. Then I left for college. I was collecting comic books, and then it just stopped. And
it's like you were focused on something else.
Yeah, there was lots of other things in college. Yes, that is a good point. Lots of other things to experiment with.
Strictly my studies, Mom.
So when I went through the entire way through college, and then I got my first job. I moved. I did all this, made new friends, got married, all these types of things. And they took a good friend of mine where I used to live, who got me back into comics, and we just started like really reading books and sharing books, trades, and all sorts of different titles. And then from there, he kept on just collecting the trades, and then I started down this dark and crazy road of graded comics and other comic book collecting.
People in dark alleys with trench coats go, "Hey, would you like to buy a slab?"
I didn't even know what slabs were. And like, shout out to like the comic book shop that got me back in, Trilogy Comics in Virginia Beach. This was their 40-year anniversary T-shirt that they gave me a fair. But they got me back into slabs because they would have them up above the entranceway on the way into the shop. And I was like, what is that? I've never seen that before. And yeah, the rest is history. For the record here, Gene, I never upped the count. We've only actually brought the count down. It used to be 25 to 30, and now it's 20 to 24. So, all right, well, great. Brian, why don't you crack us into your first slab that you brought today? I do admit that I love it's great is that I'm amazed. I am not a Hulk guy at all. I don't think I've actually even read an entire Hulk issue, but I know so many people who they fell in love with the Hulk, especially like in the 80s and stuff, and just absolutely, it's like one of their favorite characters. And I keep hearing that, and I keep going, one of these I need to go back and get some trades and go read some of this Hulk from that era to see what was so captivating to so many people.
It was great creative teams during that time. Peter David with Todd McFarlane and Dale Keown. Like it was, they were pumping out a lot of great stories.
Yes, they were.
But all right, my man, what do you got for us?
Yeah. So I'm going to be, so I did some reconnaissance on the OnlySlabs. I read through the last 15 episodes at 2x speed over the last few days to just make sure that I wasn't going to repeat slabs with anybody. But I learned some interesting facts that one of the things that I found was that most of your guests, again, do between 24 and 26 slabs, but one of your guests did 33 in an episode. And do you want to take a guess at who that was in the last 15 episodes?
I don't remember. I can't remember who was on last week's episode, let alone 13. No, I'm just kidding. I remember one person bringing on a bunch of them, and they were flying through the slabs. It was. Yep. I just can't remember if it was Hetty or it was
Comic Cap Collectibles is on.
I was just going to say, was it Rich?
Yeah, Rich had quite a few. That's true. Yeah.
And reliably DVH and Papa reliably donate every episode, which is
and Marty Alechko is almost always our first. Usually right out of the bat, he's the first one.
So very kind people.
Yep.
So one of the things that I noticed that wasn't being done a lot. I'm a fairly new graded comic collector, so one of the things that I really got into was modern books, and all but 3 of the ones I'm going to show today are moderns, actually.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with my first group of comics, which was comics that got me into graded comics because I just loved the story. And my first one was this first one by a foil version that my local shop had in the bins. I just was trying to figure out what it was initially, and I recognized the art style. And Stephen Sage is how you pronounce his actual name. I had to look that up, but he actually did a series called Harleen that I was just totally enthralled with. He wrote and he drew it, and so this cover just really blew me away because I just love the Poison Ivy story.
Do you mind pulling it out of the bag real quick, just because
Sure.
sometimes those bags, that just kind of really
at first
muddy,
like.
So.
I got a lot of reflection, so I put a lot of mine in bags to just try to cut down the
reflection. Yeah, the bag cuts it down, but it also muddies the image some too. So it's
I'll try it out. Yeah.
So tomato.
I gotta admit, when you pulled that out, I thought right away, oh, that's a Middleton, early Ivy, but yeah.
Harleen was a great series, the Black Label series.
Yeah. And so then another one that I've just been reading for a really long time is Monstrous.
Yes.
And this was the first comic. So the Poison Ivy before was the first comic I ever sent off to be graded my own. This was the first one that I gave to a facilitator to help me get graded for me at CGC, because I had no membership and I had no way of doing CGC otherwise. So he was like, yeah, it's good enough to grade. So I graded it, and it's just been this series and this book has been just unbelievable. I don't know if any of you have read it, but it's just such a great journey.
I've heard good things about it, but I haven't actually read it myself.
Me too.
Yeah, it's just absolutely wonderful. So,
and of course, now you don't have to have a membership to submit to them now.
You don't.
You just
correct.
You just get to pay extra, but you were paying extra to the facilitator anyway. So,
right, exactly. So, So and then this was another one that I just completely fell in love with, was Undiscovered Country. Now, just like a lot of modern comic books, there were a zillion variants for the first issue of this, and in some future releases. And so this one in particular, I just really loved because it's kind of tough to see from the picture itself, but it's a Chip Zdarsky cover with Uncle Sam pointing at you, but Uncle Sam's like in the background and kind of behind a fog, which I just thought was just an artistic expression that I just really, really loved and really dug. But I actually had to buy 2 or 3 of these to find one that I could grade. It was a 9.6, and I never seen it.
Yeah, being a dark cover like that, and it's always, and on modern paper, it's a trick.
It is.
It's interesting they got the Canadian to do Uncle Sam. I'm impressed.
Oh, I hear Canadians love America.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true. Everyone knows how I feel about America. But yeah,
and it's not just nice to be able to make.
And I like the fact they changed up the trade dress on that as well. Put it right through the center. That looks really, really nice.
Yeah, very, very nice. Like that one. This was another story that really. Now this is issue number 30 because in particular it had an interesting crossover. But Philadelphia was a story that I never thought I would really be interested and excited about. But it's like a vampire story based in Philadelphia, which is like 20 minutes from my house and about an hour and a half from where I grew up. And the art is just fantastic. The artist Jason Sean Alexander did a run on Spawn, and that's where I first got introduced to his particular art. And he's been on this book along with Rodney Barnes for a really long time. I've met Rodney a couple times. Really just great book. But this particular one had a crossover with Spawn, and that was kind of what drew me to this particular issue and getting this graded. But it was another one really hard to find in a high grade.
Yeah, I think this is the first time too that we've had the new blue label on the show for CBCS. I think we've had the yellow label, but not the blue label. This is I don't even have a blue. I don't think I have a blue label of the new CBCS label. It was so funny because it's one of these the label change that they did when they first announced it. I was like, but when I saw the first one I got in person, I was like, oh, that looks really good. It looks much better than I thought it was. I do dig it. I wish CBCS would get a little more love than they're getting from the community.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Comic Book doesn't like it. It's a very polarizing label. I get it.
I just it's not that I don't like them. I actually really think that this new label is sharp. I like that they distinctly went with the popular label but made it their own. I like the fact that it's almost got like an arrow going towards the grade. but I still can't get that whole X-Men slip up out of my mind when I hear CBCS, but that's for another show.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't want to go too far down that road.
How many slip ups do we hear with?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but everybody keeps
crazy.
going. So I mean, it's
yeah.
Speaking of grading companies that do slip ups, we'll go into this one.
And I'll defend them despite the fact, you know, I have a long storied history with PGX.
Yeah. This particular comic was just like I didn't actually have this done by there's two. When I first started doing the grading thing and learning about it, there were two different PGXs.
Yes,
and there was a
PGX East,
and then the West Coast one.
Right.
And the PGX East was run by one guy, and the best customer service I've ever had grading comic books. I mean, he would email me and say, "Hey, this could be pressed and it could get better. Here's the status." You know, just very responsive to questions. And then they shut down, and so then I sent to West, and I was not impressed.
Yeah, so I mean, I did an interview with the gentleman who was running the East, and you know, he was very much in it, but he was also doing something at one point where he was selling. He had his own shop, and he was he was grading his own books, and then selling them in his shop.
Oh wow!
And it was the same day. The same day the books came out. So it was not. It was called 9.8, 9.8 Wednesdays or something. And like you could buy the books the day they came out, already graded and encapsulated. And it was like, well, dude, do you not understand the conflict of interest that is if you're grading them and your own shop is selling those books? And he kept trying to say like, oh, but you don't understand. I take my integrity. I don't care what your integrity is and how you could be the most honest person in the world. It's the perception attached with that grading company. Correct. That's the problem, because that grading company had historically, years in the past, had issues with similar issues with people grading and selling their own books. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, my experience with them as of late over the last several years has been their grading is, especially at the 9.8s, is accurate. Everything I've done several videos, taking them, cracking them, submitting to the PG or CGC, them all coming back except for one book which got damaged, and that one was a 10, but that was a different ball of wax. And then you know, even the older books were pretty darn close. So my biggest issue with them is just the slab. Unfortunately, it's not the greatest slab. It comes apart easily. And I actually had about 20% of the books that came to me after grading over 300 books, about 20% needed rework. So, which is a pretty high percentage. But
let's just talk about this cover for a sec. This is a great Babe Ruth and Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, forget about the grading cover. Let's talk about the book. That's what we're supposed to be talking about.
Like,
right?
Let's just stop for a second here. Like, this is a Ruth and Griffey Jr. homage, because Ruth obviously called his own shot, but never wore his hat backwards. And Ken Griffey Jr., in every home run derby he participated, always put his hat on backwards. But what book are we actually looking at here, Brian?
So this is Hulk number 5. This is a Bjorn Barons cover. Okay. And I just really came to just love his art style. But I mean, this has nothing to do with the book other than the fact that Hulk and Thor fight in it. But I mean, I loved baseball. And so, yeah, this particular comic really spoke to me, and I just really loved it. And then the hat turned around and with Smash on it. I mean, it was just in purple. I mean, he just did so much stuff right with this that I just couldn't resist it.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I would hate to be that poor baseball.
Yeah, he's gonna launch that to the Death Star.
So keeping along the Hulk theme, this was from the same run, but this particular one was an homage cover, and I just have another Bjorn Barons homage to the Silver Surfer number 4, which, you know, I was just totally in love with this. And it was one of the best modern like variant covers I've seen in a really long time. It just blew my mind. And so when I saw Bjorn Barons was doing a signing with CBCS, I sent it in and had him sign it. And you know, it was graded a 9.8 by PGX when I cracked it out, but then of course it came back a 9.6, and they said something about a small little bit of color transfer on the rear cover, which, you know, a little bit disappointing, but overall I was just super happy to have this in my collection.
It kind of reminds me of that last volume for the Amazing Spider-Man, with that volume of the Hulk. Fantastic covers. Terrible story.
I was mixed on it for sure.
Yeah.
It was one of those. It was the idea that launched it. I thought was very interesting, but then kind of it stalled out a couple of times. It got confusing, and then Kate's left the team like 3/4 of the way through the story, so it was weird. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
This one is actually a sketch cover, believe it or not. This one
Oh God, Peter, hit me!
Yeah.
Ow!
So I couldn't believe that so the artist on this is Mark Morales. I don't know if you know Mark at all from some of his other work, but I met him at the Philadelphia Fan Expo last year, and I gave him a couple of blank sketch covers. One of them's coming up a little bit later. I'll show you that. But I just could not believe the level of detail that he did with this. And it just absolutely, the way he did my favorite character growing up, I was just totally blown away. And I'm just forever will treasure this one.
Yeah, the shading behind the character too in the frame, that's great too. That's just a great sketch.
I always, when I have a couple that are like along this type of lines where it's like, it's so beautiful the way it is. And then part of me sits there and goes, man, but what if I could take it to a colorist and have somebody color the character? Would that be better or worse? And it like racks my brain because it's like, it's so good as it is. But at the same time, I go, oh, but if it was colored, oh.
I know.
Oh,
I had no desire to get this colored. I mean, it's just so good by itself.
Oh, it's great. Phenomenal.
So these next two kind of go together. They're Clayton Crane, and it was kind of a similar idea to what J. Scott Campbell does, where he has, a few variants for the same comic. Mm-hmm. So it's this Deadpool Nerdy 30, and it's I again, another one of those comic covers that absolutely blew me away. When you see like the way that Deadpool's running away from Juggernaut, and then if you look, and there's a little thing down here that's like Juggernaut's diary that Deadpool was reading when he, and it just there's so much action and emotion in this. It's just,
I just like to think of the idea of Juggernaut keeping a journal.
But just so funny, and so it's just such a classic Deadpool cover. But I got this, and it was the version. I was like, oh, this is the top level, most the best one you can buy. And then I learned, no, that was not the case. And I've spent the last year and a half trying to hunt down this next one, which I finally got a hold of. And as a side note, do you ever have other guests like hunt down slabs right before your shows? Because
yes.
Because that's kind of how this happened.
Some of them specifically for this show. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rich from Team Ohana comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a few of these slabs in here I've just literally gotten in the last couple of days, and I was super bummed out because I was supposed to have a few of them back from CBCS that I got reholdered and they didn't come back in time. And I was so bummed because they were some real bangers, but what are you gonna do? But this was the actual the cover that was everybody wanted. It's
the meta cover. Got it.
Yeah, he's actually sitting in a lounge chair with his rabbit, and it's just like, but the actual comic cover from the previous one I showed you is in the background on his wall, and it's just so well done. I just couldn't believe that this was something that a creator could come up with and draw and create. So amazing. So the second sketch cover that Mark Morales did for me was Thanos, and he actually made a print out of this one. And I know.
Slow down.
Yeah, it was just, again, so good. Like, the detail, the work, the clean lines, so good.
DJ Links just called. He said he wants that.
the last two sketches are what he's inquiring about.
Exactly. Actually, yeah, he's a big Hulk Thanos fan. Yep, absolutely. That's great. I love sketch covers. I think they're phenomenal. It's all Chris's fault too. Sketch covers weren't even on my radar until this man, when we first started this show, he did an entire episode of sketch covers, and that was it. I became hooked.
I love them too. I have a few more, but they're not slabs, so I can't show them. So I mean,
Yeah,
I would have gotten them done, but maybe next time. We'll see.
That's right.
This I thought kind of went along with it.
Yes.
This was another Clayton Crane, but it kind of went along with that. But I believe this is an homage to another one of his covers, which was a Venom cover with that. So, like when you have artists that homage themselves, that's really interesting. Kind of like.
Oh yeah. Who does that? Does anybody we know do that? McFarlane.
Are we looking north of the border again?
Another Canadian.
Yeah. Is it the Canadian that Neil Adams started it though, didn't he? Like,
nobody does it like McFarlane does it.
Yeah, no one does it like McFarlane. But actually, this was the very first Crane exclusive that I ordered from an online shop during COVID. So I get it.
I'll admit he has a fabulous mustache.
you just appreciate the whole getup he's got going on. Eh?
That's right. Maybe I am Maestro. You don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the Maestro that actually when they relaunched that series, I was really into it. I was actually, because I remember the original Maestro, which is kind of where this cover comes from. Now this isn't like a super heavy, like crazy grade, but I got it because of the nostalgia. Because it was signed by Peter David, because he wrote the Hulk the entire time I was growing up and reading Hulk in the first place. So I just wanted to have something with his signature on it. And then, George Perez also signed this book, which, you can't get his signature anymore, obviously for obvious reasons. So I just wanted to have, a copy with, of this particular book with this particular series signed by the two of my favorite Hulk creators.
Yeah, double sign, Future Imperfect. That's great. Sometimes the grade don't matter.
No,
a lot of times it doesn't matter. Not
really. So that was just one of those ones that I just found it on Shortbox one time, and I was like, man, I really like to have that, because that's a piece that you're not gonna see again very often.
Yeah.
And of course, this one I'm actually really surprised. I'm actually really surprised I don't see this on your show very often. It's like one of the most common comic books out there, but almost nobody ever shows it. I don't know why.
Yep, I know.
We when we do, it's certainly not signed like this. This might be the second, maybe, McFarlane signed Spawn one that we've had on this show. And Rob, how long we've been doing this? Over a couple of years?
168 episodes.
Right. And they...
sorry, this is 164. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's sexy. It's still so nostalgic for me. I'm sure for you too, Brian. But
yes,
remember the day it came out and running to the comic shop and being kind of stunned at the price. I'm like, oh, that's so expensive. And now, thank God, he kept the same damn price basically from the day it was released.
It's so good. It's just such a good story. The art was just it brings every time I look at this book, it just reminds me and transports me back to when I was a kid, and I just absolutely just love this. But the fact that I could get it signed as well, and it's quite a premium to have him sign this too, which I couldn't believe. Yeah. It's really one of the ones I had in my collection.
We actually had one on the show last week. Technically, we had one in the pull box that we gave away during the C3. Yeah.
Oh man, lucky somebody pulled that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this one,
yeah, there we go. Hold on. Oh.
Yeah. Such an important book.
It was the graphic novel. I have it. I read it at least every couple of years. The movie I thought was pretty good as well. I've watched that every once in a while.
I'll watch it every time it's on. It's one of like 5 movies. If it's on, I will stop what I'm doing and sit down and watch it. And then I'll go, why am I watching it with commercials? I own the movie. I could just put the movie in.
I know. But it's just the writing, the story is just like, it's so timeless. And it's just so good. I mean, so I had it on this one.
It's sadly pretty accurate.
Peak Alan Moore, like top 3 Alan Moore for me.
Yeah, that's special.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some astute viewers will notice that a lot of the books that I'm showing are 9.6 I found that 9.6 is like the sweet spot for like collectors as far as cost goes. I mean, like I could pay like an extra twice as much for a 9.8, but
typically we've done on our analysis for most books, not all, but for most, it's about a 4 to 5x premium from a 9.6 to a 9.8. Some newer books, not as much of a premium, but yeah, so it definitely is, especially with modern books. The different, it could be, the difference between spending less than $100 and spending over $200 for a slab. So I mean, it's definitely, if you're not a grade snob, you want a near mint copy, because 9.6 is still near mint.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's really hard, when you start getting to 9.8s, you start wondering what's the difference between a 9.8 and a 9.9, and I start like wondering you can't really tell the difference, and I don't even think the grading companies can really tell the difference.
They used to describe, or CGC initially would describe it as 9.8 was where they started, and a 9.9 had plus attributes, which meant that it had an absence of either handling issues or manufacturing issues. So they expected a 9.8 would have some certain normal manufacturing defects and certain normal handling defects, but an absence of those gave it plus attributes to make it a 9.9 or a 10. It's a very weird scale.
Yeah.
PGX starts at a 10 and just starts deducting down, and that's why you end up with more 10s from PGX than you do from CGC and such. But
I feel bad for you and your crossover gradings when you watch and you turn your 10s into 9.8s. I was just wondering how you feel about that when you get them back.
You know what? I knew it. I knew going into it that was the most likely outcome, and I accepted that, knowing also that if I ever decided to move those books, they were a billion times more desirable to the majority of collectors out there, and they were just as valuable. I wouldn't be able to sell a 10.0 PGX for any more than I can sell a 9.8 CGC to almost most collectors. So from a value perspective and from everything else, I knew what I was going into it. But yeah.
All right, a couple more and then the break time.
Yeah.
This one.
Oh, of course, yeah, there we go. DVH says,
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Of course, growing up, I mean, who could forget the Transformers? I mean, that's just such a great classic book that just took me back.
That's the book that's perfection from my childhood when it comes to that cover. Just
it's more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
I think it was like Bill Sienkiewicz. Is that
Sienkiewicz?
Yeah.
Sienkiewicz.
Yeah.
And this, I guess, was painted, which I thought was really interesting too. A different type of comic cover creation that goes way back. So one of those that I just had to have. I was just really happy.
Absolutely. No, we've given away a couple. Of course, we've given away the third printings, but not the.
All right, and the last one. This is my for the first half year is like one that I saw on the line. I think this is considered to be Bronze Age, but I mean, you guys, maybe it's an argument. I don't know. But another one that's a real just throwback to my childhood, of course, is just. Casey Jones from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie was just again one of my favorite characters, and so.
That's one of the, if not the hottest book that happened during the COVID bubble. Let's be honest. Right? Like Raphael was just on everyone's top 10 list. It just kept going up and up. Brian, my man, would you mind doing me a favor? Would you mind reading me what's on the right side of that blue label?
Sure, absolutely. First Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles spinoff. First appearance of Casey Jones.
And what year is that one?
This is 1985, which is
all right. So it's technically
according to Wikipedia anyway.
Yeah, I mean, depending upon whose scale you look at, it's right on that thrust of copper and bronze, absolutely. But I think I would consider it copper. But that's me. Great book, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
let's see here.
So let's
awesome. All right,
I'll hand it
we'll take our break here. We'll do our thing. Thank you so much for that. Make sure you guys are following down below Instagram. You see his link going there, so you can join us here. And I'm coming up with the hashtag now because I was behind.
I got you hooked too much on the nostalgia and the distracted.
I was so distracted that I forgot to have it prepared. So now I have it. I'm ready to go. And here we guys go.
Oh.
Hashtag moderns need love too.
My God,
So,
Rob's trying to separate everyone, separate people who are paying attention and who are not paying attention.
So I see you guys always like talking about mostly the older books and such. But when I watch your mail calls, Rob, I mean it's a lot of modern variants and a lot of modern books.
I still have a lot of modern variants. There's always a mix. I usually have a mix of stuff because I collect everything. I collect modern variants as much as I love and collect Silver Age and Bronze Age books and stuff too. So I appreciate it. Matter of fact, I've been waffling on a submission of trying to figure out which. I'm trying to be better about not just sending every modern book I have in, and try all the variants and keeping them and putting them aside and only putting a few in here and there. Yeah,
it's the hottest book on the top 10 now, isn't it?
I'm not actually that one. I was thinking about just picking one up already encapsulated because you can get them for less than $70 already. It was pre-order, but the copy I got from my LCS had a little bit of moisture, so and there wasn't any more to swap out. So that's right. I have the ash can and I have some different variants. I have the foil one, the foil Jim Lee one's coming, and stuff. So, anyways, so guys, hit that hashtag moderns need love too. We're gonna do our pull from if you're a first time here and you don't know what we're doing. We have a giveaway box full, a short box full of comics, a lot of keys and modern variants and stuff that are in there, some Silver Age books, Bronze Age books, and we're going to be pulling, spinning for a winner. The winner is going to get 7 pulls from the box, and we'll see what they're going to get.
Oh, 7.
Yeah, 7,
okay.
7 books.
No.
That's what we've been doing.
All right.
You don't think it's enough?
I think it's enough.
Yeah, you don't like me giving away the books I give away. Anyways, while everyone's doing that, and we do include global shipping. So 48 of you, the rest of you guys that are watching, feel free, put in there. We'll get these on out to you. Brian, anything coming up for you while you're letting people type this in the next week or so? People want to check out.
Yeah, I'm not really big into the creation space. So, I'm mainly a follower of a lot of the great creators that are out there. So, I mean, I don't really create, so nothing really.
That's perfectly fine and acceptable.
This is my first foray.
If it wasn't,
so maybe,
if there weren't people watching the content we create, we'd just be making stuff for ourselves, which really I do, but I'm amazed anybody watches this stuff. Chris, how about yourself?
Monday I'll be dropping a video, either a discount bin dive again, or possibly opening some DC Walmart packs. Not quite sure how I'm going to stagger those videos, but keep an eye out for that. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, great. Okay, excellent. And I am back to creating content this week after a week off. From recovering from C3, we're back. Monday's mail call is in the can and ready to go. Members are able to view it now, and everyone else will be able to see it come Monday. Nice video, good mix of modern variants, as we talked about, as well as some Copper Age slabs and Copper Age slab and a nice AOK and a beautiful sketch cover. Oh my goodness, Chris, you're going to be jealous as hell. All right, let's don't make modern no YouTube. I don't understand. That's true. Austin LeMay doesn't understand that. He has the greatest channel, by the way. You should follow him. He's got 100 and almost 150 followers now, and his content you will never ever fall out of pace of keeping up with it. It doesn't exist. All right, let's go ahead and spin it, see who wins. Ladies and gentlemen, ready? Wheel. of Fish. And our winner of the first set of pools is Legion of Comics.
This kid is hot right now. He is hot.
That's right. Legion of Comics. These are books coming your way for you to stack in your hallway and never open.
I understood that reference.
All right. You know the man's not going to open these, so it really doesn't matter, Chris. But go ahead and pick something that you
want me
think
to
the
do?
man likes. Oh, wait, say that's right, Brian. You go first. I'm sorry, Brian.
Yeah. So why don't we just go to the middle of the book or the middle of the box and just pull that one up. Just pick the middle somewhere, and we're going to go 3, 4, and 5 to either direction of that.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
that should be 7.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right.
And so yeah, 3, 4, and 5 were my house numbers growing up. So
all right.
Thought it nice.
And the combination to his luggage, by the way.
He finds my luggage.
Wow.
Wow. All right. I'm thinking that although he's a DC guy, he might still open this pack. It's hard to say. So first up, he's got Timeless, number 1.
That's gorgeous.
Nice. Good. That was a good story.
Deadpool Wolverine World War III, the Ivan Tao, limited to 2,500 copies.
That's very nice.
Some Power Girl, number 3.
I like the way her hair looks in that one, Rob.
Yeah. Her legs go all the way to the ground. Let's see here. Let's do this. We've got the first full doppelganger.
Nice.
We get first flag smasher.
Nice.
The third appearance and origin of Iron Fist, and the first appearance of Triple Iron in Marvel Premiere number 17.
Very nice.
That's a winner.
Yeah.
And Thor 137, the first appearance of Ulick, and the second appearance of Lady Sif.
Holy cow!
Sif's one of my favorites. She's great.
So there you go. Congratulations there, Mark. Maybe you'll actually open this package. I don't know. We'll get those shipped out to you.
Is that a troll? I've seen his channel a couple of times.
Well, he has a hallway just full of boxes. He has wins from back when we used to call the show Slab Hub that still haven't been opened. They're in his hallway just sitting there. So if it's something that he knows he's excited about, he'll open stuff as it comes in. Otherwise, he stacks it and just leaves it there for eventual content or something. I don't know. But he says he's been after that Ulick for a while. Congratulations.
Look at that.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring Brian back to the position of power. And we'll get into our second half here. We'll do another giveaway here at the end. So stick around, guys.
Yeah.
Good.
And there's going to be a bonus, too. There's going to be a bonus.
Oh, that's right. There's a bonus at the end.
Yeah. All right. So one of the newest series that I've just really been into has been The Department of Truth by James Tynion or Tinian or Tynion. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it.
Tiny onion, whatever.
Tiny, whatever. So, but one of the cool things about that series was that they started doing like homage covers they just really started doing covers for things that from back in the day or whatever cultural references. And this was a variant cover by Alan Quah for the first issue, and it's signed by all 3 creators, which I just I had to have an issue because it's one of my favorites that was signed by all 3. But it really reminded me, and I'm not sure if it was an homage or if it ever says it was, but it reminded me of that scene in The Matrix where the guys are walking through and there's the
lady in red, and yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the Anthrax album Among the Living. For those that know anything about New York thrash metal, that's very similar. Yeah.
I need that. I do need to download that cricket sound effect.
I don't care. Any chance I'll talk about thrash metal, I will talk about thrash metal.
Just call my wife.
Yeah.
So everybody will remember this. If you're a fan of the Pulp Fiction reference. But this is a Will Jack cover, and you guys have had a couple of people showing Will Jack covers, and he does great art, and really like this one.
That is nice.
Yeah.
And then again, for like another one that was another reference is Forrest Gump.
Oh,
so,
I didn't know this existed.
Yeah, it's he's
write that down. I need this book.
If you would like it, I will send it to you.
No. We're not doing
will.
We're not doing that game. But what issue is this?
So this is issue 22.
Okay.
And the cover artist was Dale Altman, and I actually met him by chance, virtually. He was selling a copy of this book with a remark on it on his eBay store, and I ended up corresponding with him and then connecting with him, and eventually we worked it out where he would send me one with a remark on it. So I have an unslabbed version of this with a customized remark on it that I'm absolutely in love with. But the fact that he came up with this idea, I just thought was just really cool.
I'm surprised this movie poster, obviously, like, it's amongst, I would think, almost everyone's top 5 movies. This movie is there. But I'm surprised this movie poster hasn't been homaged that frequently. Because now, like, we've seen a lot of Purple Rain being homaged and stuff, but Forrest Gump, not that much. And this is a great interpretation of it, especially with the pentagram there. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And if I'm remembering correctly, I think he said that he used his wife as the model for this too. And so, it was really interesting how he explained that this whole cover came together. It's really fun when you can meet a creator and they can tell you the story behind how their art came to be.
Warlord with the quote of the year. Life is like a box of comics. You never know what you're going to pick. How fitting on this show is that quote. That's great.
That is perfect. That is perfect. That's extra props right there.
And in some shops I hear, if they have signs up, you don't know how much it's going to cost until you get to the register.
I've been in those shops before.
Yeah.
This one, another homage cover.
Never mind about it though. Yeah.
But this is a Javon Jordan, and he did a little remark on it as well. Just another really cool one of those. And there again, there's a zillion of these for Department of Truth. I mean, I've been collecting Department of Truth for a while, and I'll never get all the ones I want. But some of them are more special than others.
Yeah, I picked up the 5150 homage from Van Halen that they did. Yeah, Department of Truth really went crazy with the music album covers for a short period of time, and that one arc they were doing. But that's a great one too.
Yeah, sorry, I have a cat on my lap. Somehow
That's all right.
I wonder how many of your guests have had that.
We've seen plenty of pussy on this show.
Oh boy, I stepped into that one.
Cat, that is.
So another one of those books that it's an homage that Todd did, but it's of a book I have on my wall. You guys have walked through that with people discussing Jim Steranko, and I have this particular cover. I just don't have it slabbed. I want to, but just haven't gotten around to it yet. But this particular Spawn was absolutely one of my favorite homages to the Hulk Annual 1 that he did.
Love it.
Battle of the Humans. Oh no, Spawn battles the humans. Got it.
Yeah.
I can read if I read all the words and not put my own words in there.
I can read if I read all the words.
Yeah. But again, another one of those that's just kind of like throws back.
Oh, I'm crying.
Jackpot.
Oh, this is a great show.
My cat normally leaves me alone, but this one she's not. Oh well. Okay, another spawn issue. This is another Bjorn Barons. I sent this one in for the signing because, again, like Violator, growing up, Violator was just, one of those characters that I couldn't believe that somebody could create. But this particular cover with the transformation all in the same cover, it's just so good. It's so good. And I just can't believe anybody can do that.
Absolutely. Barons has some great covers. Yep.
All right, so moving a little bit into Harley Quinn, she's another one of my favorites, and so this particular cover was one I think that was really kind of it kind of set off. He started homaging this with other characters, but I thought that this one was the most unique, which was this one, and again, it's a foil. It's the Harley Quinn. The Harley Quinn number 23, signed by Nathan Zerdy. He's got little remarks on it, but he started doing these tattoos, which he put tattoos on her arms of her and Poison Ivy together, which I just thought was just really cool.
Did a few DC characters like that. I believe Wonder Woman had the same treatment as well. But my God, Brian, what issue number is that?
It's Harley Quinn number 23.
Rob, write that down.
Department of Truth 22, Harley Quinn 23.
All right.
So he did this recently with Poison Ivy and with Catwoman. And so, but the difference was that this was the first one, and the other two, their eyes are open, but this one, her eyes aren't open. And I don't know what the difference was, but for some reason, I like this cover the best out of the three of them. So this one is go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I don't know why, but for some reason, Zerdy's stuff generally, I recognize why people like it, but he hasn't drawn one yet that's caused me to go, "Ooh, I gotta have that." That's just me personally.
Yeah, there's not very many of his that I want. But
I'm occasionally wrong. I will admit that. My wife says more often than not I'm wrong, but what are you gonna do?
And so this one was
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, freeze frame. Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah!
I am so. Do you all know how excited I am to get that particular video? That's like my favorite one out of all of them. Yes, nice. That is my favorite one. So I'm so honored to receive that one.
This was what, 4 times signed?
It's signed by all the creators of the book. Yep.
Nice.
So it's signed by Paul Mounts, Chad Hardin, Amanda Connor, and Jimmy Palmiotti. I didn't even know what the bombshell thing was until I had to look into it. It's got quite a history to it.
The whole Bombshells run. That's a run I'm currently working on. The cover art on them is great. The whole diesel punk stuff. I dig it. I really dig it, and that one's great. So who's the cover artist on that one?
So the cover artist is Aunt Lucia.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, Aunt Lucia. That's what I thought. So it's missing the cover artist then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I do have one, not that cover, but I have a different one that was done for a convention that Aunt Lucia did, and it's got five signatures on it, which was phenomenal. But unfortunately, it was a foil. So by the time you have a foil signed by that many people, there's like zero shot of getting a 9/8.
Well, now thanks for now making me have a new quest.
That's right. Now you got to
find a signature from Aunt Lucia.
I need to get Aunt Lucia to sign this on it.
Accepted.
I thought I had.
But it's great.
Oh boy,
that's phenomenal.
Okay, so we do have several people who talk about how much they like J. Scott Campbell on this show, which especially
hand feel level.
But so this was the one. This was one was shown on your show, a few episodes ago. But it kind of goes along with the series, so I'm just going to kind of run through a few of these together. So this is the first.
Yeah, this is my best ever.
There's just like again like one of those comic covers that's kind of forever. It just has so much emotion in it, and just says so much with that cover. It's just really tough to.
Yeah. It's a classic. Every single homage he does of it becomes a banger and becomes a sought after collector's item. This original, of course, is up there. I mean, it is a great freaking book. And the story, but
I'm the next one I'm trying to search down is the Black Cat 1 version of this.
That one
really like to have them next to each other.
That one is super pricey.
Yeah.
That I don't know why, but man, yeah, it's because I know I've wanted that one too. But for right now, I was really happy just to pick up the Ultimate Spider-Man ones, which I thought were phenomenal.
Oh, those are great. Those are absolutely fantastic. I'd love to have those too. But it's like you're slowly picking away at the ones that I want. It's just, this is just such a classic. And
this Ultimate Spider-Man 601. So of course it's a classic cover there. 9.6. Chris, I know you already have a copy of this book.
Yep.
Which is good because if you didn't, I'd be like, that's it. We're done with being friends.
I'm actually just trying to see. I know I have it like very close by. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, a 9.6 copy, Chris, this book, what do you think it runs?
Of this issue right here.
Yeah. Not a key, just a great cover.
I know the 9.8 sometimes spikes over $500.
Yeah, 9.8 is close to $600 right now. Last sale was $585.
I still think the 9.6 does have a lot of value compared to a 9.8. I'm going to say $225.
So $225 is right about the fair market value on cover price, showing at $228, but the last sale was $193. However, the last sale of a 9.4 was $199. So it's one of those things. Who gets the right thing? So yeah, about $225. Very good.
This cover for whatever reason is my all-time favorite by him, and this one is just.
Oh yeah. That's a cover we saw a lot of homages on. This in the Ultimate line, we had both Tyler Kirkham and J. Scott Campbell did homages to this cover in the Ultimate Spider-Man line.
Yeah, so definitely like I actually went through 3 different versions of this to get a 9.6. I started off with an 8.5, then I went to a 9.4. And now I'm finally at a 9.6. So who knows? I'll probably maybe go to a 9.8. Who knows? But just one of those classics.
I gotta admit, like I know MJ is looking stunned here, but I think this is one of the best MJs that J. Scott Campbell ever did. I know that she's very like small and in the back, but his take on MJ here is terrific.
And he just looks like
an ordinary spider woman, buns too, right? Spider buns all over the place.
I still think one of my favorite Mary Janes that he's done is Amazing Mary Jane #1, the 90s variant. He had decades version. There was a 50s, 60s. So yeah, the 90s one I really kind of dug. That, and then I think there's maybe it's Renew Your Vows. Volume 2. I think there's one where that's really good too. But anyways, that's another. Yeah, that's a great one too. Yeah. Anyways,
that's another one after.
There's a long list. There's a long list of J. Scott Campbell, Mary Jane covers that I will say are very good. So,
have you seen the one? I think it's Renew Your Vows, where Black Cat's on the top of the couch and those two are sitting on the couch together, like snuggling or whatever. But she's kind of sitting on the back, and his eyes are kind of looking up behind him, and he notices.
No, I hadn't seen that one. I don't think.
No, that's another good one. There's a lot that are centered around that particular couch scene for whatever reason.
Right.
This one has been on my list to hunt down for a while too.
Yeah.
This one getting a signed book by by him, but also in this particular run was important. And
The girl wants
really
a pearl necklace.
Rob.
She does.
Bad.
Happy belated
this was an all ages show.
What kind of necklace did she have?
Like one of those covers. I've always been a Black Cat fan, so like
what anyone else there is talking
covers.
about. I'm innocent.
Totally innocent. But yeah, there's another one of those that's just kind of loaded with everything you would want in a Spider-Man Black Cat cover.
Nice set of slabs.
This one was a recent acquisition.
Nice.
Like Clayton Crane interpretation of Black Cat. And this is the relaunch of Amazing Spider-Man from 2018. I picked this up, again in preparation for the show. I just, really liked. I'd love to have a, like all of my favorite artists doing Black Cat, and so I've just been slowly tracking them down. All right, into my last three here. These are like the prizes of like what my collection. I guess my top books that that I've always wanted to have and been searching for a really long time. So first, so this is double signed by Al Milgrom and Jim Shooter. So I was at Baltimore Comic-Con this year, and I had planned to have Marv Wolfman sign it because he was going to appear. Mm-hmm. I was going to crack it. CBCS was there. I was going to have him witness it, and just then I'd have the big three for this issue. And unfortunately, he I guess got sick before the convention, and so I couldn't have him do it. But I'm still on my list to have him do this. Now it's graded a 7.5, but the book is just in absolutely immaculate condition from what I can tell. A lot of the grading notes say that there's bends on it, which I think can be pressed out. So this book could probably be a 9 in that range if I really put in the work and got it there. So that was actually part of my plan, was to have Marv sign it, then send it to CBCS, have them press it, and then hopefully get it up to that grade. But it didn't happen this time around.
Well, there's always next time.
Yeah, these guys aren't getting any younger though, so
that is true.
I'm just hoping. Like I have a book by Walt Simonson that I want him to sign. It's got a Stan Lee signature on it. I haven't slabbed it yet, and I haven't gotten the signature verification because I want him to sign it. But when I was at Baltimore Comic-Con, 1.5 to 2 hour wait for him, and they cut the line off, and I could never get in line to actually have him sign it. So one of those.
No, I know what you're talking about. I mean, I had a book that was off at George Perez and then he got sick and passed away, so it never got signed. And the same thing with Neil Adams. I had a book off to be signed by Neil Adams, and it never, as far as I know, it never got signed because I've never gotten the book back, and that facilitator's gone out of business. So I can't get in contact with them. So my assumption is that the book could be still at Neil Adams' estate there to be signed, and it was never signed, and they don't know what to do with it, and who knows.
Yeah,
fortunately, it was a cheap book.
When you have the opportunity, you try to take it, but so far it hasn't worked out. This was one of those books from growing up that I just, for whatever reason, this particular cover and this particular storyline, and when they made the movie out of it, I was just, I just love this particular comic. And to have it signed by Chris Claremont was really nice to have as well. Been trying to search for a higher grade version of this, but I don't see too many of them, and I don't know why they don't pop up more often.
9.2 is very respectable.
It is, and it's another one of these things about the hobby that you're constantly like, can I get a better grade? Can I upgrade it? Can I go to a better book or whatever? And I'm just, being satisfied with what you have sometimes can be a challenge, but just having this book was
the worst part to me is when you have books on either side of it that are like a certain grade and you got one in the middle that's down below them, and you feel like some obligation that they should all be the same or right about the same. And so you're looking for no other, even though you were super happy with that book when you got it, just because the other ones on either side are better. And that's the worst part about the thing.
Yeah, there's a gentleman on your show. I forget his name, but he was pulling books off of his wall while he was doing the stream. And
Thomas.
He was talking about that with one of his Wolverines, which I was like,
yeah,
oh,
he wanted them all the same. Yeah, that happens a lot with the limited series. I see a lot of collectors that want all 4 issues to be the exact same grade, and they get really irritated if they don't have the same grade for all 4 copies.
Yeah,
I would almost have that problem if my number 1 wasn't a 9.8. I'm willing to live with it.
That's a tough one to get.
Yeah, I was willing to live with it. Yeah, and I got it raw. So,
all right. Well, I hope this one's a good send off. It's the last one.
Well, good, because Hero says you're going to end it with a bang.
I hope so. This one is one of a kind because it's got a remark on it, and so as far as I know, none of these exist. So, it's,
and boom goes the dynamite.
Oh my goodness.
That is good.
So, yeah, Watchmen is like one of those books that you just, another one of those that you just have to have if you're a comic collector and admire the medium, right? So to actually have, an actual signed version with a remark on it.
There you go. Yes.
And to have Rorschach too.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Remy, it's not OCD, it'd be CDO. You have to put them in the right order.
Stop it.
Is that the Remy that does the same? Okay.
There's only one Remy.
He's here. Another one. I'm in the presence of greatness.
That's right. Touchdown.
So now, did you get this remark in person, or is this one that you had to mail away?
Or did you pick it up? I had to pick this one up.
Okay.
It's surprisingly hard to find a signed books by him. I think he's based in the UK. Which is, I think, part of the reason why it's like when you're over here, it's tough to get books signed by him. I don't know exactly if he just maybe like a lot of other UK artists just comes over from New York or something every once in a while. Stepan Sake is the same kind of way, right? He's over I think South Africa or something, or Australia. He's somewhere far away. He only comes in like once every couple of years. So getting books signed by him is hard.
Yeah. Addie Granoff.
Or Barry Windsor Smith.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of Italian artists right now too that are that way too. Yeah, your best bet is getting to a facilitator when they go to Lake Como.
Yeah. That's it in the show. Wow,
phenomenal! That is a phenomenal send off. I will admit that I was not expecting a Watchman with such a huge and lovely remark of Rorschach. Congratulations on acquiring that.
But wait,
all right.
More.
Yeah, wait, there's more, guys. Okay, so we got 2 things coming up here to do. We're gonna do another giveaway. We'll do that first, but then why don't you give them the teaser here? Let me actually make you big one more time here. So to help with comics curing cancer, we have Brian's going to donate. He's donating this book right now. This is Miles Morales Spider-Man number, what is it? 31?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Oh,
this is an Inyok Lee variant, homage Wolverine one, ironically, as we were talking about Wolverine earlier. And so this book, we're going to auction this off starting at $1, and then Brian's going to ship it to the winner. So we're going to do that in a moment. So with all and I should say 100% of those proceeds from raising it is going to go to you're going to be going to the Comics Curing Cancer portal to make your payment directly to the American Cancer Society. So that's going to be awesome. And to that end, we're going to go ahead and do our giveaway though first. And our giveaway is going to be hashtag C3 equals 54,680, because that's where we stand right now.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it.
Rob is not messing around today.
I'm making people have to pay attention to what they're numbering, what they're typing in. But that is great. That is where we're sitting. That's what we managed to raise thus far. Congratulations. So this is the hashtag for the giveaway from the giveaway bin. We'll do our 7 pulls, and then after that, we will auction that off as we're getting ready to shut the door for the day, and welcome everyone back next week.
I'm watching this, by the way. This is like watching people type this in. There's been a lot of mistakes already.
I'm sure the numbers transposed.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, I thought about that, and I said, well, tough. They can suck it up, Buttercup. Let's see. What do we got? This is so next week we're going to be joined by Toxified 13 from Instagram. He'll be our guest next week. I don't have a little thing set up there. Oh, we still have to say hello to we have to also thank all the henchmen. We're going to do that in a second. Normally I would pull it up while we're doing this, but I don't want to cover this number because it's a complicated number. I'll let you guys have that. So, we're just going to go do this. We'll wrap it up. Obviously, I've already given my promotion of what's coming up on my shows. You guys have done that. So, I'll just use this opportunity to simply say, hey, if anybody out there, again, if you're interested in being a guest on OnlySlabs, we are booking for basically December at this point. So if you're interested in being a guest December or even January, just go reach out to me and we can talk about getting you on the schedule. Of course, we do follow up so you don't have to, if something changes, we can be flexible and accommodate. We'll go from there. Yeah, let's see, 51 out of 68 people. We do ship internationally. I'll give you guys just a moment longer to get that in there. And let's see what else we got going on. Anything exciting? No. All right. I had the same banner.
That's not going to work, Wayne.
I'll simply say this. I'll put this banner up. Well, don't forget, there's about 1 week remaining to get your votes in for the Comic Book Community Awards. Now, I'm just going to simply ask that you guys go and vote for whoever you'd like.
Nope.
Maybe vote for OnlySlabs.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Two
but you are under no obligation.
Yes, you are.
But we'd appreciate that you give us consideration when you're casting your vote for OnlySlabs. As well as make sure don't just cast a vote just for us and move on. Do cast your vote throughout the entire ballot for other folks out there. Comic Book Community Awards wrapping up the voting next week. All right, we got
show. Why wouldn't you? I love this. It's so unique.
A lot of people do, and I appreciate them for that. But I'm not comfortable trying to tell people that they owe me a vote or something. They don't owe me a vote.
No, but
they should vote for whoever they vote for who they feel.
You owe us votes if you've won on this show. If you've been a guest on this show,
you don't.
Or hey, if you just watch the show, you owe us a vote. Never mind what Rob says. It's hard to be humble. I have no problem. So you need to vote for OnlySlabs.
I appreciate your consideration.
In
all
two different categories.
I'm going to draw it right now in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
that was pretty good.
4, 3, 2, 1, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck to you as we pull this winner. Is going to be this man right here, Robert Monroe Jr. Congratulations. You are the winner. Robert, I know I've sent you something, but I can't remember. Just in case if you want to reach out to me with your information. But
watch your back, Rob. Watch your back.
Chris,
all right.
Your turn to pull for Robert.
All right. Everyone, don't drop out. This is not over, by the way. We are not done with OnlySlabs for today, thanks to Brian. So please stick around after Robert receives his books here. Rob, we're going with 7. Let's do 3 from the front, 3 from the back. Actually, we'll take the very last book that's in the back.
Okay.
All right, let's let it ride. Stop. And those 2 books, your finger splits.
5.
Let it ride. And stop. And those 2 books. And everyone, Dagger Cards, please help him get to his goal of 2,500 Canadian dollars and his Great Cycle Challenge for Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto that helps children with cancer before Halloween. Good on you, Dagger.
Shit.
It's interesting when he's swearing.
Yeah, that doesn't,
when he is swearing, not me.
Sound good for you.
When he
All right,
swears before I do.
congratulations, Robert Monroe. Here's what you got this week. First of all, we're going to start you off with Wolverine 93. It's a little X23 action.
Oh, she looks good there.
Cover looks like it's Mike Choi. No, it's after Mike Choi. It's somebody else who homage. I can't see who read their signature. Spectacular Spider-Man 206, featuring one of my favorite under next level villains, Tombstone. Glad to see him getting a story right now in the main storybook. The first appearance of the second Isis.
Gorgeous cover.
And wife of Black Adam. Some David Nakayama.
Ooh.
Ghost Rider.
Very nice. That's actually autograph worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you shaking your head?
Amazing Spider-Man 365. The first appearance in preview of Spider-Man 2099.
I love when he gets upset at his own books that he's given away, and I get to laugh for a change. How nice is that? First Miguel, here you go, Robert.
In preview.
I don't care about the asterisk. Oh, damn it.
Tales of Suspense 82, the first Adaptoid.
Oh my god. Is this a Heroes pickup? No. Did I hold that book?
No. And then last, now this is a low grade copy.
Great.
Strange Tales 141.
Hello, nurse.
Congratulations there, Mr. Monroe.
Yeah, congratulations, Robert Monroe.
All right.
I thought I had the upper hand for a change with that damn Miguel, but here we are. He's giving away fucking Tales of Suspense.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do, this is the same rules that we always did on Comics Curing Cancer. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start, when I say so, we'll start it at $1 and we'll go up from there. There'll be 90 seconds to get your bids in. After 90 seconds, we're going to we'll stop accepting new bids. And only people who are actually bidding at that bid up to that point will be able to continue to bid until you fold, and only one person remains, and that person is our top bidder, who then will be able to go make payment to the American Cancer Society, and we'll ship that book out to you. So, having said that, let me get my timer ready.
I got one ready.
Oh, you got one ready?
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do it. Starting at $1. Ready, set, go. $60 on the board. Right out of the bat from Comics Caps Collectibles. Thank you so much, Rich, for getting us started there. We really appreciate you there. 100% of the proceeds going to Comics Curing Cancer. This is an Iñak Lee, Miles Morales Spider-Man #1, homaging the Wolverine 1 limited series. So,
Brian, would you mind reading us what's on the right side of that blue label?
Sure. Ultimate Spider-Man number 283. For some reason, they felt the need to put that there.
Yeah, the legacy numbering sometimes.
Yeah, I know the legacy. For some reason, they actually have it on the cover here too. The legacy,
right?
Number, so
yeah, exactly. Comic Caps Collectibles going. Do I have any competition? Nope. $60. Am I buying this thing? How much time they got left?
I'm thinking about it. They have 33 seconds, 32, 31.
There you go. There we go. Brian LCS says, all right, I'm in at 65.
Attaboy, Brian.
We
can that
play.
Rich. A little too confident there halfway through.
Rich comes back at 70.
Well, Take that, Brian.
As some folks were keen to say during that, there's not a man in your family if you 75 says Brian. Yeah, nice. 9.8 graded.
1.
All right.
And
so I'm going to put the end line in. End line. And I see 70. Okay, that's the end line. So it's just between Rich and Brian. 77 says Rich. Go ahead, Brian. Go finish him. Finish him.
Finish him. 80.
He goes to 8.
Jeez.
It's for the American Cancer Society.
That's awesome.
Brian, would you mind reading the creative team so that both Brian and Rich are aware of who the...
Sure. Cody Ziegler story, Federico Vincentini art, and then, of course, Inhucli the cover.
Phenomenal. Rich has folded. Brian LCS, congratulations. The book is yours. I will let me send you the link if you need it, and you can make the payment to the American Cancer Society. Actually, the link, there is a link down below in the description, but I'll still ping you with it in a moment. You can make that payment, and then I will get your address information over to Brian, so that way he can ship that out to you. Thank you, Brian, for making that donation, and both Brians. Thank you guys both so much. Appreciate that. Everybody, as usual, you know, it's a pleasure doing the show, having you guys all with us, and I am humbled deeply that you guys continue to show up for this show. Hope to see you guys next week, and until next time, collect what you want. Oh, wait, I can't leave yet. Well, thank all the Goon Squad members whose membership helps us get by with all Comics Curing Cancer and all the shipping stuff. Stephen C., Legion of Comics, DJ Links, Dr. Von Hoots, Comics from the Spiral Dimension, Dale of Suspense, Justin Birch Letters, Son of a Bruce, Circumstances, The Comic Viking, The Comic Vet, Austin LeMay, Mad Spidey, Ben Parker Comics, Chuck Hensey, Lone Eagle, Comiverse, Dead Man, Anachronic Comics, Colossus Collector, JG, Timo Hanna, Daymares, Still Only 35 Cents, Cliff on Comics, Bearded Comic Bro, Never Could Figure It Out, The Adventurous Joe, Jay Knows the Way, Valen Rook, Omnibo, and I Don't Like Comics. Appreciate you guys all so much. Also appreciate the henchmen. I'll let the henchmen scroll roll as we get on out of here. Until next time, collect what you want. Don't listen to any of us, especially me. So I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.